Hello Sagittarius, welcome. Wendy from Clearing Heart Tarot, bringing through the messages for the second half of September 2023. Please Spirit, can you bring through the messages and information and inspiration for Sagittarius for the second half of September 2023. Messages please for Sagittarius. So, Four of Wands, Seven of Cups, Ten of Cups, Four of Swords, the Fool, the Hermit, the Hangman. Oh, some introspection going on here. The Sun, success, nice, beautiful, beautiful. Put that over there. Okay, so let's have a look. First thing we can see is the Fool is in smack bang in the middle. So what's that telling us? It's telling us that there is a change, taking a leap of faith, doing something. So the Fool is like, people would say, oh, that's foolish to go and do that. And it's where you go to and fro in your mind, you know, should I do it, shouldn't I do it, would I be a fool to do it? And it can be in any aspect of your life. So we quite often, as you know, come across situations where we have to kind of do something without maybe all the information, or not really knowing what the outcome is going to be. That does take a huge leap of faith. A huge leap of faith. So it'll be interesting to see what the rest of the cards tell us. So recharging your hopes, Four of Wands. So definitely for some you're making some changes. And the changes are all about building a firm foundation, some structure, a life. You know, it could be that you're looking to make some changes so that it improves your time, improves your life, improves your situation. You could be looking even at, you know, a new job or a career move or something that actually builds upon this structure, creates this foundation, this, you know, where that you're going to build upon, that you're going to, you know, just continue to improve upon. Now, beside that is the Seven of Cups. So, sometimes we struggle with this full energy because there's a few options available, not all the time. But sometimes, because this is the card of confusion, there are a few options, a few choices. And it's like, which one do I take? If I take that one, what's the outcome? You know, will I be silly to not take that other one? It can be quite paralyzing sometimes. So, they say if you overanalyze, you paralyze. So, don't get too much into the thinking, because we've got some great cards here. But there is this chance here of you reflecting and going deeper to have a look. And that can also bring through some information. But at the end of the day, there, Sagittarius, as you know, it's about following your own gut. And you're very good at doing that. So here we go, enjoying the outcome, the Ten of Cups. So, yeah, there is definitely a good life. This is where you're feeling really quite good about where you're at and how things are going. So as you move through this process and through the second half of September, you're going to find that you're feeling a lot better about things. So there's definitely improvement if you needed to be, or just that feeling of satisfaction and contentment if it was already, you were doing okay. Now here was the recovery and retreat. So everybody should be getting that at this time, because it is really a time of having to sit back and, you know, reset yourself. And it's all the R's that you can think of, like refresh, retreat, reset. You know, it's really bringing yourself back into who you are, bringing yourself back into that oneness of you, because sometimes we can get scattered, especially if we're having to make some decisions and some choices or whatever the situation is, and it can feel a little overwhelming. So also when you're in this state is a good time for Spirit to talk to you. So if you're needing to get some clarification and also do some of that inner reflection, take yourself away, you know, get yourself some quiet space, some quiet time. Because here we have the Hermit, and Hermit is the wisdom of solitude. So yes, so taking that time out is going to be very important at this time, if you can achieve that. It's not always possible, but even if it's 10 minutes sitting in your car, Sagittarius, and you just take a breath and allow the thoughts to flow, ask your guardians, your angels, to bring through the information that you need, and see how that works for you. But definitely look at taking that solitude. Now, the Hermit is really good as far as the Hermit does have the ability to search for information and to get some clarification that way. So it really is opening up. And as you do that, you become, more and more wise about what's happening. And with the Hanged Man, suspense and waiting. So, as I said before, with the Fool, you don't always know what the outcome's going to be, and part of that process is waiting. And, the suspense, like, is it going to happen? Isn't it going to happen? What if it happens? How does it work out? What's the outcome? All that sort of thing. So, with the Confusion card as well, and the Hermit and that, and the Fool, and having to sort of set yourself back and have a look, really it is a bit of a mixed bag, but it all leads to the same place. So we've got a little bit of, indulgence and enjoying and feeling good about things and setting those foundations. Then a little bit of having to sort of just bring yourself back into, into a place where you can actually make sense of all the information and make that decision knowing that it's the right one for you. And of course it will be, because we've got the Sun. And the Sun's here towards camaraderie, affection, all that sort of thing. But it's the most positive card in the tarot deck, as we know. It really does indicate being in a really good space. Being optimistic about the future, feeling quite excited and just feeling good about where you're at. And then we go on to the Three of Pentacles, or Three of Coins here. And this is that purposeful action. So this is where you go from the Fool, state of the Fool, and the contemplation of the other cards, and you take action. Because because the Sun is right beside that, we know that with the Hangman you've got suspense and waiting, then you've got the Sun, so then you've got things ramping up and coming to fruition, and then you've got the purposeful action, like let's make the most of it, then let's take this energetic energy and get something working from that. Okay. So as you're building on that firm foundation there, Sagittarius, you will have to take a leap of faith to start working on whatever it is. So if you're contemplating a project or something, or going into a relationship, a job, whatever the situation is for you, Sagittarius, really is just the case of having to take that leap and then to start working on what you want. We've got the Ten of Cups, the Fool, and the Hangman here. So we've got, this is where things are. You're feeling good. You're feeling, sort of like, yeah, I've got everything sorted. I am really in the best place for me. And then looking to see, how do I enhance what I've already got? And how do I, is there an opportunity here for me to actually even see, in a much more bigger perspective about how I can continue to either keep this going, this momentum of enjoying self and having been in a good space and just keeping it going. So how does that work for you? Which is great, because it means that there is always that forward momentum, which is nice. And taking that time every now and then to just pull yourself back, sit back and, do some inner thinking, inner analysis, or just plain chilling out, which is nice. Here we have some options, but we know that we have to choose. For some of you, you will have to choose the option that you want, and we know that that's going to lead to the Sun vibration, so that's always good. And then we've got that, once again, that enjoying the outcome, being in a really good space. And this is also the end of a cycle and the beginning of another one. So we go from 1 to the 0, which is good, because that's the proper, the way you want to flow. But here we got from the 10 to the Hermit. So yeah, just reflecting on that and just looking at, once again, how do we keep building on that? So really it is quite coming through strongly to keep building on what you're achieving as you go along. The Queen of Swords. Yeah, so the Queen of Swords, it brings in that clarification, that having a strategic mind and things, sort of putting things into perspective. It's kind of like you have to sort of move out. We're always encouraging, come from your mind, drop down into your heart space, because that's where you need to come from. You'll still do it like that, but it means that the heart space doesn't include emotions. So what you're doing is you're making a strategic choice. A lot of clarity. And the Knight of Pentacles, yes. So taking and knowing that this may be a slow process. You don't have to rush it. You don't have to go, full steam ahead. Really, it is take the time to do it, but no, don't be cornered into sort of having to make like a decision straight away, or taking that leap of faith straight away. Even just do one little thing towards that as well. So moderation is really cool as well there. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Yes, so here we go. We've got success. It's also building a legacy. So it's about building, and we've got the building with the Three of Pentacles there, just to keep building, because you're working towards, it could be you're working towards retirement, or you're working towards establishing yourself. It could be investments, whatever the situation is. It is really just building a firm foundation once again, so we're going back to that. So you're building on, like we talked about. So some of you might be in a comfortable position there, Sagittarius, financially, or whatever the situation is. But you're starting to think, well, can I keep building on this? Can I really, establish a very concrete and solid and anchored sort of situation for myself as well, which is always nice. And then we have the Three of Cups here. So it is a team effort as well. For some of you, if you're feeling like, it's only me, and only me can do it, then that's fine. But for others of you, it's nice to share, but also to share in the prosperity. So celebrations, getting together with your friends, just spreading the love, really. And knowing also that you're very much supported in this. And the King of Swords. So we've got the King as well. So King and Queen Swords. Some of you have a dynamic partner, and the partnership can be a business partnership, a work colleague, whatever the situation is, your lover, whatever, or family member. And it's a dynamic situation here, because the King of Swords really backs up the Queen of Swords, and so, not being emotional in any way, shape or form, being very strategic. He's happy to sort of just sit back and collect the information, and that's definitely in alignment with the Hangman and the Hermit, because this energy here doesn't do anything with a lot of the facts, if not all of them, and also having a clear understanding of what is required. So there's quite a bit of that coming through as well, which is nice, because then that I'm not being paranoid. I'm going for it. I'm going to check it out, make sure I'm doing the right thing. And the star says this is wish fulfillment. This is, you are definitely head for the moon and hit the stars pretty much, It's like, just go for it. Everything's aligned, everything's looking good. And also, only do what you want to do as well, remembering that tarot is just a tool, and that, you're not getting told to do anything at all. It all comes down to choice, but those are the energies that are around Sagittarius. So yeah, you can definitely make your own choice there. Okay, so here we have the Four of Swords again. So if we've seen it twice there, Sagittarius, it's telling you that this is very important. Spirit is making sure that you understand this message. So taking that time out, allowing yourself to rest when you need it, because burnout won't get you where you want to get to. You need to be refreshed. You need to be, feeling as if you're back into your own oneness and that sort of thing. And also allowing yourself to listen to what Spirit is bringing through for you. And the King of Cups, beautiful. So once again, we've got a very stable energy, and it could be someone around you, it could be Pisces around you, someone like that, but it, that really is bringing through that stability of emotions, of feeling, the King of Cups feels very satisfied with who he is and what he's doing. So coming back to pulling that back into yourself. So it sounds very much like, and what's coming through for this reading for your Sagittarius is that, yes, there are options that you can take, and they will require that leap of faith, doing your homework before, as you go along, to make sure that you do have all the information that you need. Remembering to lean on support from others as well is a really good idea, but remembering to continue to take action, so you can rest but then take action again. But also here we have that introspection, that looking into things, that doing what needs to do, but elevating on what you've already got. So building. And the King of Cups here definitely is a great energy to bring through, because he is all about getting to a state of contentment and just knowing. So what you're building on, it really is coming from you. I'm not sure how to say this. So it all hinges on you and where you are and how you are feeling. If you're feeling centered, stable, and anchored, and you set your boundaries and you do your homework and you get yourself like, you know, motivated to get moving, then that's what the energy is going to be looking for. That's what's going to help you progress. And then the Ace of Wands bringing in through that success. It's that new beginning. This is the beginning of something very creative, something very amazing. And it's definitely brought through from Spirit. You see all the leaves that are coming off there. This is growth. This is attainment. This is achievement. And the opportunity is there for you to do that. If you can see in the background there, there's the owl. It looks like an owl. And that's wisdom. Yeah, so you're definitely in the right place for that. Alright, well, I don't think I need to go any more. I don't need to clarify anything at this point in time because it looks like it's all sort of spaced out and spread out like it should be, and giving you some good indicators. So recapping once again, because I know when we sometimes watch readings, we get to the end of it, we can't remember what the heck was said at the beginning. So recapping there, Sagittarius, is this is building upon or adding to a very firm structure and foundation. First things first. It will require to take a leap of faith for some of you because you have to make some choices in order to achieve that. And there may be a lot of options there available, but it is really bringing you to that place where you're enjoying the outcome, you're feeling good, you're in a really good space. Now, the requirement here is that you may need to do some inner journeying or even some external journeying where you're gathering information, you're gathering wisdom in that as you go. Importantly, to pull yourself back and allow yourself to rest when you need to rest. But we have got success here. We've got the Sun. We've got the Ace of Wands. And also bringing into balance all the energies here because, you know, you're a fire sign, so you've got that creativity. You've got all that. That's great. But we've got the sword energy here, the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords, where they're saying be strategic in your thinking, be directional, and, you know, just have your mind sort of on the job, knowing full well that it will be one step at a time, but you will reach that successful outcome where you feel you're at a good place. Doesn't mean to say you've stopped there, you haven't reached the peak. You're just building and building and building upon it. And also we have, you know, the Sun here to say everything is just, you know, it's going to become, really, you're just going to be feeling good about where you're at. Anyways, going to leave you there. Thanks very much. Bye for now.